NASCAR fans, something big just happened, and it has the entire racing world talking. A shocking decision from NASCAR has sent shockwaves through the garage, and Ross Chastain is absolutely furious. A suspension, a heated reaction, and a controversy that could change the entire season. Drivers are speaking out, fans are divided, and now one huge question is spreading across the NASCAR community. Because what just happened behind the scenes might completely shake up the championship battle. Over the past few days, NASCAR has been dealing with one of the most controversial moments of the season. After an intense race weekend filled with aggressive driving, on-track contact, and rising tensions between drivers, NASCAR officials made a decision that nobody expected. A suspension was handed down, and according to sources inside the garage, the decision immediately sparked frustration among several drivers, especially Ross Chastain. Chastain, known as one of the most aggressive and fearless drivers in the Cup Series, reportedly didn't hold back when reacting to NASCAR's ruling. For him, the punishment raised serious questions about consistency, fairness, and how NASCAR enforces its rules. But here's the thing that has fans paying close attention. This situation isn't just about one driver or one incident. It could affect team strategies, playoff positions, and the entire momentum of the season. And that's exactly why the reaction has been so explosive. But what exactly happened on the track that led to this suspension? Was the punishment justified, or did NASCAR overreact? Why is Ross Chastain so angry about the decision? And could this controversy actually change the championship race later this year? Because when drivers start questioning NASCAR's decisions, it usually means something bigger is happening behind the scenes. And what insiders are saying right now might surprise you. Let's break down the situation. During the race weekend, tensions were already high. Drivers were battling hard for position. Aggressive moves were happening throughout the field, and several close calls had already put NASCAR officials on alert. Then came the moment that triggered everything. A major on-track incident sparked chaos, bringing NASCAR officials into the spotlight almost immediately. After reviewing the situation, NASCAR decided that the action crossed the line. Soon after, the announcement came down, and that decision instantly became the biggest topic in the garage area. Some teams quietly accepted it. Others, however, believed the punishment was too severe. But the most vocal reaction came from Ross Chastain. Chastain, who has built a reputation for aggressive racing and fearless moves, reportedly questioned how NASCAR determined the penalty. According to multiple reports circulating among insiders and fans, Chastain felt that similar incidents in the past were handled differently. In other words, that question quickly became the center of the debate. In NASCAR, every race matters. Every point matters. And when a driver is suspended, the ripple effect goes far beyond just missing a race. Teams lose momentum. Crew chiefs must suddenly adjust strategy. Sponsors begin asking questions. And competitors gain an unexpected advantage. For drivers fighting to stay competitive in the standings, even one missed race can create serious problems. That's why decisions like this are never just about punishment. They can reshape the entire competitive landscape. And in a sport where consistency determines championships, any disruption can be massive, which is exactly why Ross Chastain's reaction caught so much attention. Because when a driver like Chastain speaks out, people listen. Almost immediately after the news spread, NASCAR fans took to social media, and the reactions were intense. Some fans supported NASCAR's decision, arguing that stricter penalties are necessary to keep the sport safe and fair. Others strongly disagreed. They argued that NASCAR has allowed aggressive racing for years, and suddenly changing how penalties are enforced creates confusion. The debate quickly turned into one of the most heated discussions of the season. Some fans posted comments saying, "Racing is supposed to be aggressive. This is NASCAR," while others responded, "If NASCAR doesn't enforce rules, things will only get worse." Meanwhile, hashtags related to the incident began trending across racing communities. Forums, comment sections, and racing podcasts were filled with speculation. Was this punishment about safety? Was it about sending a message? Or was NASCAR trying to prevent future chaos on the track? No matter where fans stood on the issue, one thing was clear. Inside the garage area, reactions were more cautious, but still very telling. Several drivers acknowledged that NASCAR has the responsibility to keep racing competitive but controlled. Others hinted that consistency in rule enforcement remains a concern. And when reporters asked about Ross Chastain's reaction, the responses were interesting. Some drivers sympathized with his frustration. Others simply said that NASCAR's decisions are part of the sport. But what stood out most was how carefully many drivers chose their words. Because when controversies like this happen, drivers know that their own actions could eventually fall under the same scrutiny. In NASCAR, today's ruling could easily become tomorrow's precedent, and that uncertainty keeps everyone watching closely. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. If this situation affects upcoming races, the impact on the championship standings could be significant. Momentum plays a huge role in NASCAR. When a driver finds rhythm, confidence grows, teams perform better, and results start stacking up. But when controversy enters the picture, momentum can disappear overnight. For teams competing at the highest level, even small disruptions can change an entire season. If this suspension shifts the competitive balance, even slightly, it could open opportunities for rival teams. Drivers chasing playoff positions may suddenly gain valuable points. Others may fall behind. And that's exactly why moments like this become defining chapters in a NASCAR season. Because sometimes the biggest turning points don't happen during the race itself. They happen in the decisions made after the race ends. This controversy has also reopened a long-running debate among fans and analysts. How aggressive should NASCAR allow drivers to be? Aggression has always been part of the sport. Some of the most famous moments in NASCAR history happened because drivers refused to back down. But at the same time, NASCAR has been working to balance excitement with safety and fairness. Finding that balance isn't easy. Too many penalties can make the sport feel controlled. Too few penalties can lead to chaos. And when a decision like this sparks major backlash, it shows just how difficult that balance really is. So now the question becomes, what happens next? Will NASCAR respond to the criticism? Will Ross Chastain continue speaking out about the decision? And could this controversy lead to changes in how NASCAR enforces its rules moving forward? Because if tensions continue rising inside the garage, this story might be far from over. And with several crucial races still ahead, the impact of this decision could continue unfolding for weeks. The NASCAR world will be watching closely. If you want the latest NASCAR breaking news, race drama, driver reactions, and behind-the-scenes stories, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. We cover the biggest NASCAR updates, controversies, and race analysis every single week. And trust me, with everything happening in the sport right now, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the racing community right here. Because the next NASCAR story could be even bigger than this one.